This meeting is being recorded.
Tech fans, welcome to Up with the White and Gold Season 2. Yep, we can't get canceled. I guess we could, but we didn't. We made it back somehow. We must have it might have been the varsity gift cards that I sent to Coach Key. It was probably definitely that. Either way, I'm Jeremy the Impact York. He is GA Tech John Watts. Always weird you got John twice, so I was trying to figure out how to I can actually read the screen though. But we are here to talk season 2, and we had to start a week earlier than we really had planned on because we forgot they're going to be playing somewhere behind me here soon. You know, you asked me where I was. This is the Airbnb that I rented over here in Dublin. They said I could stay here for free. Same story I told you. If where is it? If I stay off of this, and if I helped install those things over there, so much appreciate, construction background. I know how to do that. I think it turned out pretty well. None of them have fallen yet. But how you been in the off season?
I've been a little crazy around here. I shipped one off to college. I started high school, so another 4 more years of Friday Night Lights around here until we get a little break, and then maybe I'll do some more depending on what the little one does. But same old, same old. Pretty much working, and we had a pretty good monsoon game last Friday with high school. So start the season, check all those boxes. Sorry, made it to some crazy massive school near Atlanta. All right, check. Get rained on, check. All right. Pretty much the same old thing.
I I can probably top my Sunday probably tops my Sunday monsoon story probably tops your Friday, but it was still something. But that's for another show because that had nothing to do with football, even though it was a lot of athletes. But we're here to talk Georgia Tech. For people that are new to the show, um, we're pretty sure he graduated from Tech. He's got a piece of paper saying that he did. There's a whole story to that. Go back in season 1, and I'm not going to revisit that at this moment or find us because we're always walking around. I will happily tell you in public. I will. We won't get into it here, but
I mean, it's been like 18
I've just been a
years.
big fan of Tech. Even before he went there, because I had some friends and family go there before then. But we get on. We try to give you the highlights of the Tech season and how we think the guys are going to do. We won't sugarcoat things, but at the same time, we're going to tell you why you should be watching because they really are doing something really special. Coming off of last year, I felt like Brent Key in his first year as head coach really started to build something. You can see by his recruiting class and the transfers this time that he did really well. But I think solidifying quarterback, he had a couple runners and he had some decent receivers. But I think between solidifying the quarterback position and solidifying that offensive line, that is a lot of their success on offense last year.
Yeah, definitely. Coming off the 7-6 season there, after going, pretty rough the last 3 years prior to. Yeah, definitely showing, and he can do it. In their first full season, coming back for his second season. Like you said, we've got some solidifying some of those places. We definitely got some returners. And we'll probably talk about a little bit here on the show. But yeah, definitely good in those areas, and then bringing in some people. Definitely looks good for the season.
Yeah, well, let's start right there with the quarterback position. Haynes King, they were able to bring him in. We were curious how it was going to work out with him being the overall starter, and it actually did pretty well. Haynes King come in and really, like I said, really solidified just what they needed to do. He was, let's see, was he also? No, he was the second leading rusher last year. We'll talk about how that needs to change later. But they had Zach Pyron and they had what was the other kid that's now at Georgia State?
Um,
Zach something, wasn't
I forgot. Yeah, the others we have two Zachs.
Zach.
Yeah, no,
Anyway, your backup
yep.
leaves. I think it's fine because I think Zach Pyron is going to be a good backup for Haynes King in case something does happen or in case you get up by so many points that it's time to let him play a little bit. But like I said, in bringing in Haynes King, you not only had somebody that could scramble and pick up 737 total yards with his feet, he threw for almost 3,000, which in a normal Tech offense is almost unheard of because up until a couple years ago, all they did was run the ball.
Sorry, screen froze a little bit there. Yeah,
I
definitely.
thought you were mesmerized by these little things I put up over here. There they are.
I mean, it'd be great. Though. I mean, I wish I was there, there with you. I mean, I've got several people over there that I know are going to the game. So it'd be kind of cool. It's on my bucket list to get over to Ireland, but but back to what yours. Back to Tech here. Yeah, definitely kind of solidifying that. I couldn't find another Zach guy, so maybe he's moved on from Georgia State as well. But
There's always that.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, solidifying there. I mean, I'll have Zach in there as a backup. What kind of said, and having Haynes there, what he's done this year definitely showed that he can take on that role. So I think getting that, we definitely set Haynes as the starter there. So we'll know going in this week 0 what we're looking at there.
We're getting our crack staff to try to find this. And our search is not helping. Nope, that is not what I. Nope, it's not Carson Beck, guys. That's not who we're talking about. Anywho, whoever that kid is, wish him the best. Wish Georgia State the best. I did spend some time covering them for a while, but talking about Tech, like I said, they rushed for almost 3,000 yards last year, which was pretty impressive to be moving away from the triple option and everything they did for so many years. That to be able to get, they had Haynes, not the quarterback, Haynes the running back, who had over 1,000 yards. I think he had 1,059, somewhere close to that, according to my chart. Smith and Cooley and Dickens, they all picked up a little bit here and there. Now I know they have a true freshman who is more than likely going to be the third running back this year. But what did you think of the run attack?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, Jamal Haynes is returning. We have still down to redshirt junior Cooley returning as a senior. We do have Jamal as a starter, so what he did last year be really good for us. I think again it'll be another year where we definitely use him on different schemes depending on who we're playing against. So they're going to be definitely good. But yeah, you mentioned the freshman, Anthony Carey, freshman coming in. He's a little bigger than Jamal, like by a couple inches and a couple pounds. And we also got another sophomore coming in, Chad Alexander. So we got some depth there. So we got 4 players there in the running back in case we did it. Because you never know what happens in a game. Because we had a year where we had like multiple quarterbacks hurt, so you never know what happened. So, but yeah, it's still looking good there. Jamal Haynes running the show, so looking forward to what he can produce this year.
Yeah, and we're not going to go each position group because the wide receivers. Best thing I would say there is that it's the same thing that good buddy and friend of the show Bryce Coon said with his breakdown of the wide receivers. Even he said he wants to see Eric Singleton Jr. become a slightly better route runner, and if he does that, he's going to be almost unstoppable. because I think his evolution is going to cause him to be bracketed and double teamed a lot. And it's going to open up Chase Lane and Christian Leary, and it's just going to open up the entire field because they're going to be worried about Singleton.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the wide receiver, we still got a lot of good depth there as well. We got 6 wide receivers. As you mentioned, Singleton, Chase Lane, and Rutherford. We're looking at starting, kind of putting there, but we can move things around. Like I said, Leary. We've got a redshirt freshman and Bailey Stockton backing up Rutherford. Got a couple guys backing up Chase Lane. So definitely we'll have options there to move around if we need to. And Haynes definitely can throw the ball around as we seen last year. So definitely get some depth there and try some different things.
Yeah, and like I said, I would say that if you can keep the offensive line healthy and they can build on what they did last year, I think this team should be able to score a lot of points, and sometimes in a very quick fashion. We flip over to the other side of the field, and as much as I would once again argue that the defensive line is going to be one of the big keys, pun intended, I guess, one of the big keys of this team, I think the evolution that I want to see is in the linebackers. I think if the linebackers really show out, and a great defensive line can help do that, but I think it could be a big year for this linebacker core. And if they do that, I think they're really going to wreak havoc on the ACC.
Yeah, definitely. A linebacker there, we do have Kyle Effort. He is being a redshirt sophomore, one of the younger ones, younger starters. I think we only have like 2 sophomores starting for Saturday's game, the rest are juniors and seniors. But between him and Tatum, I definitely think the linebacker role there will definitely be good.
Yeah, definitely so. Because the defensive backs, I felt like did a pretty good job. I mean, the problem, as with a lot of teams, the problem last year with the defense was sometimes they just spent way too much time on the field and they got wore out. They were playing well. You can just only do it for so long when the offense was doing 3 and outs or only doing 4, 5, 6 plays before turning the ball over. It put the defense right back out there, and they just never caught their breath. So I think the offense will be better. I think the defense, like I said, we're going to see some stuff out of it. And special teams is special teams. There's a reason why you tune into those plays. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, definitely. Especially looking at Saturday and with FSU, their quarterback is definitely one who likes to do those short passes, and expecting them to do a lot of run game. So that defensive line, the ends, the linebackers, the line, we definitely need to want to chill out Saturday and kind of step up and see what we can do with there. So they're expecting them to put in a lot of work Saturday.
Yeah, and do we know who's the starting kicker? Is it Aiden Burr?
It is Aiden Burr. Aiden Burr starting kicker and Shanahan for the punter. So no surprise there. It's returning the same people we had from last year. We do have a backup and James Watley for both positions. So, but yeah, just Ed Bud.
And do we know who the long snapper is yet?
We got Henry Freer, 6'0", 6 foot, 205 guy. So definitely good there as well.
Local guy out of College Park.
Yep.
In fact,
always good to have local guys around.
I was about to say, if you look at this roster, Georgia Tech does a good job of getting local guys. I'm seeing a lot of Marietta, and I'm seeing College Park and Savannah and Warner Robins. It's, hey, you're recruiting in your state, and you have a big state. Now, this is going to be fun for David Shanahan. You mentioned him a minute ago. He is from Castle Island, Castle Island, Ireland. I guess right up the road from where, right up the road from here, probably. So this is going to be a fun game for him. He's going to get to kick in his home country.
Yeah, and it's kind of rare for some of the people because sometimes we'll see like Australian kickers here in the States playing football and different things, but be able to go and play play in Ireland. He's likely, have family there. And it's always a fun thing to be able to do.
Sorry, I'm trying to see if there's anybody any more local to us on this. Well, there's a Cartersville. All right. What does he do? We got a linebacker from Cartersville. All right. Shout out Miles Forrestal.
And just kind of go back to that Henry Freer. He said he was out of College Park and tie back in what we were talking about earlier. Henry Freer graduated from Woodward Academy, where I was last Friday.
Somebody from Dublin, Georgia. Shout out to the amazing people down there.
And also, the long snapper has a PhD in chemical and biomolecular engineering. He's got a PhD on the football team.
He's really wasting his schooling. I mean, there's probably no call for something like that at all.
No, probably not at all. No.
He definitely should have went with international affairs. I think he's been better off.
Oh, okay. Thanks for that.
I had to throw it in. But
it's all right.
But as we're saying, is I think there's a lot of positivity, especially the last handful of games 2 years ago that Brent Key took over as the interim before getting named the actual head coach last year. I mean, he's coached 14, 15, 16 games now as the head coach, and if you look, he's winning like 2/3 of his games, and he seems to have them rolling. He's getting the right kids in; they're fitting what he does. And I think the only real fault I have with Coach Key right now is that he won't take me up on my offer for lunch at the varsity.
Yeah, I don't know about all that there. I do would like to have some more consistency last year, because the way we were looking at them last year, we were like, oh, they should win this game, and they don't, and they're like, oh, well, they'll probably lose this one, and then they win it, and then we were only 8 points down at the end of the UGA game, and so kept that one pretty close. So, and then this year,
I was going to save this for the breakdown here in a second of Florida State and Georgia Tech, but they actually fared well. They fared better against Georgia last year than Florida State did.
And and then Florida State ranked preseason ranked number 10 in the country. I've seen some of the predictions and stuff, and it's a little bit closer than I would expect for an unranked versus a 10, but that one should be pretty good.
Well, there's also a lot of factors, and we'll get into those in a second. Just kind of briefly looking at the schedule. I don't know if you have it in front of you, but on the way to the studio today, I said, this season has an 8-win feel to it. I feel like they can hit 8 wins. I felt like they could have done it last year, but I feel like 8-4, possibly 9-3, I think is, or how many do they play? They play 10 or 12? They play 12, right?
Yeah.
10 in high school, 12 in college.
Yep.
I think so.
Yeah.
But anyway, they do that because you can be 6-6. So I feel like there's 8 wins. So we're going to briefly go through this and see if we can come up with 8 wins. They got a small outside chance of winning this week, but we'll kind of pencil that in as a loss. Florida State, we'll say that's a loss. They follow that up next week by hosting the Panthers of Georgia State. They are about 4 streets apart. The campuses are. This could be a trap game, but it's probably a really good game. I think Georgia Tech can beat Georgia State. I think that. So we'll give them one if that won't disappear. Syracuse, they battled hard last year. Syracuse was a team that surprised a lot, but I think Georgia Tech could beat them. I mean, it's 2. They get VMI. I think they can beat VMI. That's at home. Syracuse could be tough because it's in Syracuse, but they could beat VMI. So there's 3. Tough game in Louisville against the Cardinals. Louisville probably is going to win that, but I mean, it's winnable too. But for the sake of it, we'll say 3-2 at that point. I think Duke's going to take a hit, and they're going to have to come to the friendly confines of Bobby Dodd Field. So I actually think Georgia Tech's going to beat Duke. So that's 4-2. North Carolina doesn't have Drake May anymore, who was there for about 16 seasons, I believe. So um, he's now going to suffer and waste away in New Englandville. So I think they can beat North Carolina. Uh, I don't think Notre Dame is going to be ranked number 7 when they come to visit on October 19th, but I do think Notre Dame is a better team than Georgia Tech. So there's
Yeah.
4-3.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech's going to have to go up to face the Hokies. They can probably win that one. So that's 5-3. It's not looking too bad because we know a couple games coming up.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's 6-3. 5-3 is 8. I don't know. I missed a game somewhere in here. Miami's going to be difficult. Miami is probably going to be ranked somewhere 15th to 19th. They're ranked 19th right now, 15th to 19th by the time they play Tech that late in the year. They're going to hover right around there. Tech has an outside chance of winning, but Miami's probably going to win that game. NC State was pretty good last year. They're currently ranked 24. They may or may not be ranked by the time that happens. That one could be interesting. I don't know. That's about a coin flip. And then depending on how banged up Georgia is by the end of the year, last year was a winnable game. This year could be a winnable game too, just depending on where that team is. But
Yeah.
I think I gave them about 6 wins there. There's a couple of those that could go different, the other direction. So I don't think 8
Yeah.
wins is that much outside where this team is.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you there. Like I said, there's a couple of games that could be like, the NC State game, the Virginia Tech game. Those ones tend to kind of be in there, like year to year, we're not really sure who's going to. It's really depending on who shows up. Like who wants to show up for those games because. I know in the past we always had problems if we were in Virginia, but if they came to us, it was better for us. But it's not the Virginia Tech of old. So it's definitely I think that was one of those other ones that probably flipped. And we got right now. I mean, what five games versus teams that are ranked. So it'll be interesting in one of those few games.
Including the last 3 of the year, but that's
Yeah. So
that's
4 out of the 5 are last
yeah.
ranked.
Because at least 4 of those will be ranked by the time you play them.
Yeah. I mean, we expect Georgia to be. I mean, Florida State's already ranked, so they're of course going to be ranked when we play them. Georgia. I mean, unless something disastrous happens, I expect them to be pretty much right around where they are.
If Georgia secedes from the NCAA to join the AFC East, that could trigger the whole end of the season.
I mean, the way they were running things, I mean, why not? But they've got a good. Georgia's got a different season. I mean, interesting season to look at. So I know it's a different show for you, but they've got a tough season in the SEC. So we'll see how they end up by the time they get to us.
It's true. It's that game may mean a lot more than people think it does. But I think we got about 8 or 9 minutes left. About 8 minutes left, I think. So let's talk a little bit about this game. It's going to be Saturday. It's the noon kickoff. FSU is only a 10.5-point favorite. I think that's a pretty good nod to how close you were saying you thought it could be, too. Number 10 ranked Florida State against Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech is considered the home team, which it's kind of stinks a little bit that you're losing a home game for that. But you are going to be playing at Aer Lingus College Football Classic. That is what they're going to call it. Aer Lingus. Yep. I don't know if they're related to Colonel or not, but it sounds like a fun activity. And in the comments, tell me what I just referenced. We'll send you a shirt or I don't know, a signed 8x10 of John or something. We'll send you something. But yeah, this should be fun. Going over there, playing a game like this is going to be a big showcase. It's going to get to show what Brent Key has in store for this year. And I said, you just don't want to get too banged up because that next week Georgia State's going to bring it. They want to be the best team in Atlanta, and they're looking really good. I'll give them that. But how do you see this game going?
Yeah, I would hit on a little bit earlier. This is our first rodeo here in Ireland. We have done in the past, but that was under a different coach. When we played against Boston College,
Hmm.
a couple teams that have some ties to Irish. And then we're here again. It's FSU. Like I said, it's a home game technically. I mean, as I see it, it's about as a lot more neutral than a Georgia Florida game. But
Yeah.
I think, like I said earlier, their quarterback is definitely one who likes to throw short passes. They're highly likely to do a lot of run game. So the defense really needs to kind of step up and show what they can do. But looking in the preseason, they are ranked number 10, so they definitely have some power there. 10 and a half. I mean, we could possibly do it. Might be right around there. I mean, I would like, I would like my team to win, but I do kind of see FSU kind of taking this one.
So the ultimate question: will FSU win by 11 points or more?
And to me, it's right around there. I would just say I'm gonna say 10 and not meet the spread.
That's where I got it. I think it's between 8 to 10, but there's that outside shot that if you let Tech kind of linger around, you could kind of get embarrassed if you're Florida State, get embarrassed on the big stage because I don't think there's only like two other games going on at that time, and nobody's going to be watching them unless you're at them. So
Yeah,
it should be fun.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I keep getting clips on TikToks of some of the most embarrassing upsets, and it always showed me the miracle on Techwood. That when we run it back. So I mean, it's not that we can't beat them. We've clearly done it before.
Hmm.
So I mean, if it comes down to it, maybe we have a miracle in Aviva Stadium, a miracle in Dublin. However you might say miracle in Irish.
Not real
I don't have
sure. Now I'm a
have a
little rusty
translator up
on
here.
that Irish.
Yeah, just a little bit.
But yeah, we both agree there. We're looking at the 8 to 10 point range. More than likely, FSU should get this win, but don't count out the Techies that they could figure this out. Um, any kind of closing remarks here at the end of the show?
Like I said, we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll engineer something up to get this game start the season. Either way, looking forward to a good game in Ireland, good season. Um, it's good to be back again.
It definitely is, and I know we don't have it scheduled for this week, and I'm not sure schedule wise that it could happen, but hopefully a couple times this year we will do uh, you know, tweet alongs or something like that where we'll both be on social media watching Tech games and you guys can interact and tell us your thoughts and where you're coming from on things. And we want these shows to be more interactive. So definitely send in your questions, comments, suggestions, rating, reviews. Subscribe to the show if you're on YouTube, impact_media_. Follow all of us on all the social medias. We're pretty easy to find. I mean, with Faces for Radio like we have, we're pretty easy to find, and we're pretty active. So definitely go do that. Appreciate everybody tuning in. This was season kickoff. We'll be back again next week. Make sure to watch the game. Tell us what you thought about the game, and remember, whatever I made reference to earlier, if you'll say here in the comments of all the correct entries, we'll pick a winner. We'll send you something. I promise you, it'll be a good prize. It will more than likely not be an 8x10 of either one of us, so you don't have to worry about that.
Why not?
But yeah, but for GA Tech, John Watts, I am Jeremy the Impact York. This has been Up with the White and Gold season premiere. We'll see you guys next week. Deuces, gooses.
Go Jackets.